Merry Christmas.
It's not even close to Christmas yet. We have not even hit Thanksgiving.
But I have a puppy that says, Pop Fizz be merry.
It's a good
Anyways.
poppy flavor. And I'm having Olipop Apple Edition Christmas. I don't know what it
So
is.
Merry Christmas. But anyways, welcome back to the Chatterbox.
Hello,
And you are?
Bronte.
Jules. Um I'm delirious. I did a big I did a big thing today, and I did Pilates for the first time today. And because our ASWU president is now a Pilates instructor, so I went to go cheer her on, and I did Pilates,
Boom.
and she made the big bucks today at work. So,
Hopefully.
anyways, I'm sounding like you right now. Anyways, let's get right into it about this couple chapters 7, 8.
Okay.
Anyways, what do you think was the most interesting to you and why?
I think the aspect because one of my top 5 things, my first top 5 thing is empathy. That if you have too much empathy,
Empathy.
that it's like it does cause problems. And sometimes it is a negative effect, a positive effect, and that it involves a lot more than just your workspace. It involves with your family, and it really tied in really well. Also, guess what? I thrifted a t-shirt blanket, actually yard saled it for like $3, and it has a Whitworth Pirate logo. So,
Skullbucks.
what about you?
I thought was very interesting was the whole like family comparison to organizations. Because like for me, like I would say that I come from like a healthy family structure, and like I see that like my sister and my dad like they're in management, and I see that like the places that they run like are healthy too. Like obviously no organization is perfect, and so like obviously there's been bumps in the road and yada yada. But I've also seen other organizations that are always in an unhealthy state, and like I've also seen like my dad post retirement work for an organization that like his boss was just came from like a horrible family dynamic, and like it just was ran horribly because it was being run like their family. Um and so it's just like it makes me think like because it has such big tie, like how can we help change that? Because I think I don't know, I just been thinking about like how do we change like people who don't have like a good like family life, like I think we overlook that sometimes because like that impacts so much. So like we should really help that because it will help organizations like better. It will help it it will help the domino effect stop and not just like affect all these other places. So I guess that wasn't like a summary of why it was interesting to me, but it just made me think like, oh, the family is so important. And sometimes I don't think we say family is so important.
Facts.
Yeah. Um, so how do these principles from the reading relate to things you see in your own life? Um, I mean, I kind of just already kind of touched on that, how I see it in my life, but I also think um, like, oh, I think also like sometimes like I have a couple bosses who they're just by themselves right now. Like they don't have any kids. Like they don't have like yes, they're part of a family, but like they don't have their own family that they're the head of the leader for. And I think because of that, now it makes me think of like, oh, maybe this is run differently because they're not like the head of the household yet. Or maybe I'm just reading into that. But I also think like trial and error because I think like when you become a parent, you become more like responsible per se and like trial by fire. And so then like you have more experience. So I guess how I see that in my own life because it's like, yeah. Anyways.
I mean, I see it in the aspect of I come from a very healthy family, as you probably know, David, from reading my entire autobiography. But I mean, my family chose to do the hard thing of going through the process of fostering kids throughout my entire life, of seeing that that unhealthiness in other kids and all of that, and having a place like a family that they could come to and just hang out and be themselves. And that my parents led us in the direction of, yes, I'm going to lead you in this correct direction, in the aspect of like my mom now is like one of the head people at my church, is like for the women's study that she is teaching every single week to these women, and she is teaching these women how to actually be able to present and talk about the word in front of other people, which is really cool. And the aspect of seeing that play out in my life, and my dad being like, okay, we're learning how to correctly use a car, and how to change all these different things, that it's not, so I'm not helpless in the end. Is That's the whole thing, that my parents want us to be set up for success. And yeah, they they will be the people that be like, I know you can do it, so you're going to do it by yourself, and you're going to see how you get through it and how you become a better person. But that's how I see it, and I think that's in my life.
Well, I also think too, like I think if you try to combine both of these chapters, like I know the author has like more of the opinion of like empathy is maybe not a useless tool, but like I think we use it maybe too much. Like I think, but like to think about chapter 8 about the family systems, like I love how it mentioned like how families are very emotional systems, and it's oh, what is it like state and religion? No, what is it like? I don't know what she's talking about, you guys. I don't know. Home and whatever. But like how some people are like, oh, we that keeps at work. Oh, that's like at home. Like,
Work life balance.
well, that could be it. But I'm coming up. I don't remember. But church and state. Church and state. That's what I'm thinking about. Church and
Okay.
state. And I just think those actually intertwine. If even if we hate it, they intertwine because like so much and like because it's like you can't really leave all your work at home to at work, let's be honest here. And like my dad was in the patrol for and like was a cop for 25 years, and like the amount of time, not the amount of times, but like there were some times that like he would get home and finally like sit down for dinner, and then his phone would ring and be like, oh my gosh, like I gotta drive now 4 hours to it. Like I think about like I think I was in fifth grade, I think. And like he literally sat down for dinner, literally was only there for 30 minutes. And then he got a call and the ozone landslide happened. And he literally had to drive like 4 hours. And then I didn't see him for like 3 days because he like had to be like the main person at that crazy mudslide that like sadly a couple of people died at. And I just remember being like, okay, well, obviously now that work has gone into our house because like and like that I don't know. So I and like we had to err on the side of like, okay, well, this is my dad's duty, like, and us have to come together for that. And like um and that was like an emotional thing because it's like, oh, like my mom didn't realize, oh, okay, for the next 3 days she kind of has to run the house. So and I think sometimes organizations can also be like that because it's like, oh, this person on your team is going down, okay, we gotta all like we didn't see that happening, we have to come up and help. So
Mm-hmm.
which will lead me into the next thing of talking about how radio organizations can might learn from this. And you have a story yet?
I do. And it's sadly to say it's stuff that's sort of happening in my RA work. Um and it's about this whole empathy thing. So yes, empathy is such an important skill to have, and being able to read people and understand and utilize that as an approach of potentially like manipulating people in an aspect in negative light, but also the fact of understanding them on another level. And my boss, she is a very empathetic person, maybe a little too empathetic. And this year it's been an up and down roller coaster because there are certain things that need to be straight on, because sometimes we do need consequences when we don't do our job, or if we were supposed to get something done and we didn't get it done. um but she's so empathetic and she gives so much grace towards it that people are using it to their advantage of, oh, I can get away with this. I can use this as an aspect to not do my job and keep up and being this leader in this community. And so it's been interesting to see that as the reading and all of that, it really was like, okay, I really can see what this writer's talking about. And the aspect of empathy might be a little too much in certain things, because sometimes you are blind to things when you are empathetic, because you want to just make sure they're loved and you want them to just feel at home and all of this. But sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you need your little booty cheeks on fire at some point to get things done.
Put that on a t-shirt.
But I mean, I've seen it a lot more, and it's sort of like, how can my eyes be open to this aspect?
Yeah. And I think, like, I mean, we're all sinful creatures, so, like, if you realize, oh, I can get away with this and I can abuse this grace, then people sadly will take that to their advantage. And I see that happening. And
Hopefully, you guys could hear that.
I mean, I don't really think these mics do a lot, but
I think they work. I just haven't charged them in a few weeks, David. Oh, there it's back on. We're live again.
Okay. Anything that you disagree with? I mean, I think I just disagreed with, like, I think we can abuse empathy and, like, use it too much, but I also don't think we should disregard it, because I do think when you take feelings out, it is bad, because we all are human. And also, like, we're women, so, like, not sadly, mine died too. Anyways, embarrassing David Sloan. But we're women, and like we are emotional people. So I also think that it's just important to